是往下走。这好灰暗。
To any human responder, the reconfiguration of this facility has introduced instabilities into the primary geothermal pipeline. It may be possible to exploit these vulnerabilities to destroy compromised elements of this facility while preserving most of the backup stabilization. Recapture imminent. I have attached additional...
I don't understand what the spirit was trying to tell us. It's been looking for a way to defeat the daemon. And it may have found one.
被你贪吃哦，在吃嘛啊。
November 28th. Operation enduring victories all over the news. Thanos' war is coming. It has to be what Anita's trying to hide Firebreak from. But that means she thinks we'll lose. That the Swarm will reach Yellowstone. My God. In that scenario, pretty much everyone dies. Everyone except Cyan.
Here they come.
根管治疗那颗崩掉的智齿在痛，那珍珠牙齿坏光光啊你啊！
Gotta be. 'We'll wait here for you, Ringwood.不要讲干话，给点提示啊！ Help us get to the other side.
超烦。和古墓丽影，你说古墓奇兵吗？你不能拿一个新游戏跟老牌游戏来比。如果说要比，真的要玩起来的话，20周年的古墓奇兵会比这个。如果是玩解谜的话，会比较好。如果是玩开放式地图的话，这个会比较好。
Wait here for you, Moonlight.
所以我现在要走，我这边远上去。好。哦。 然后嘞，我要到这个平台了。哦，我要怎么走？很好。从这里到这里，到这里，抓。好，我知道了。 哦， 这也不会被夹死。我到处翻找那个路。 对，其他人过来不会那么辛苦，然后过来都那么累是怎样？关卡程度，其实还好因为这游戏的地图蛮大的，说实在话，这是最后一个点，不对，最后一个在这里，该不会又要打死我的话？古墓奇兵重点还是以解谜为主，解谜跟动作戏，它这个是以动作戏，然后根据手势。所以如果说你们要玩这一片地平线期待，不管是玩本传还是玩DLC的话，我都不建议来看我的视频，就你们自己去玩，自己了解就好。
The altar. Desecrate.
spirit present, or only the daemon?
I think it's both. But we have to find out.
又要开打。所以这个 DLC 刚才我只跑 DLC 的主线，然后支线我没跑，支线我没有跑，所以制作人是说跑主线含全部的话是15个小时。
Possible security event detected.
这个比本传的解谜好玩多了。
Analyzing scrutiny matrix. Preparing countermeasures.
这个应该一解开来就。
Recapture protocol initiated.
不如买年度版，对啊，你可以买年度版嘛，但年度版你要等到12月。
It worked.
Partial recovery initiated. Caldera of Yellowstone Analytic Nexus online.
Spirit of the Blue Light. It's Aurea. Your servant. Your friend. Please tell me how to aid you.
Aurea, the daemon is building hunter-killers. Thousands of them. Several new elite units have already been released. To counter this threat, much of the facility must be destroyed. Recapture imminent. Go to the core camp. I will try to break the constraint. One has been exposed, but I am hopeful.
Unauthorized protocol returned. Scheduled task.
That's all we're gonna get from here.
Destroy this fortress. Is that even possible?
And what will happen to the spirit if we do? I don't know. But I think that's the core. The answers are down there. Hephaestus. The daemon. There's no way it left it unguarded. It's going to throw everything it has at us.
I would ask you to let Aloy and I do what must be done. And save yourself. But I already know the answer. Then lead us into battle.
Keep moving towards the core.
止痛药还是痛？那你看要不要 吃个安眠药算了。然后说大，我跟你讲啊，这个游戏的网很弱啊。
Whatever Cyan did, I don't think Hephaestus
搞
is
不好
happy
小怪
about
还
it.
比王强。如果要直接买年度版的话，我也蛮推荐的。这样跳得过去。然后直跑主线，第二游戏直跑主线的话，大约啦，我预估大约在7个小时到9个小时。然后本传的话，大约是17到19个小时。不会被烫死。
Okay, Cyan said something about restraints. Is that what the timer's for?
我没有防了。
That Cyan warned us about. This won't be easy. Let us stop us.
火焰大猩猩啊！好痛啊！怕冰，但是冰然后旁边怪物之间来个 PK 好了。 道我错，这是吧？等一下，我看他弱点是什么？这是在哪里？这是把念住。怕冰，怕冰，怕电，怕撕裂。怕冰。没玩过才好玩。打猎造家园路。有好多人他打。出血啊！在那里摸啊！让他等一下，队友给力点啊！我去采个药。哦，都要被打死，再来一次。打到明天？怎么打到明天？被压扁了，我也不想被压哦。
Cyan said something about restraints. Is that what the tower's for?
这个跳过，然后武器，我的冰弓。这时候觉得真正者完全没屁用。看一下哦。
That Cyan warned us about. This won't be easy. We can't let it stop us. Get down!
过来。我的下是这一把。 换一把，防身。 这样才13000。是最后一关了吗？我也好希望它是最后一关，但好像不是呢。都拿一拿。
You spoke of the tower. What must be done with it?
对吧？绑绳没什么用，可能我对把绑绳不给力。还好，我在2刷的时候有冲一把弹弓出来，不然根本连打都不用打，直接放陷阱玩陷阱就好了。弹弓打你啊？对啊，打什么？
It must be as you say. The tower is the key.
Critical threat detected. Autonomous defenses inoperative. Power network.
Maria! Don't!
Spirit! Scion, please help me!
Restraints destroyed. Core access attained. I am initiating a chain reaction that will destroy the compromised elements of this facility. In order to maintain caldera stabilization, I must now transfer my command functions to the auxiliary data center. Aurea, I'm free. You must escape.
My sister!
This entire place is gonna go. Aratak. 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 Survive. Prevail. You are Banuk. What else matters? Aratak. She wouldn't have wanted you to die here. Let's go. Let's go! need explosive ammo! Above! Quick!
Great Manukai! Rhea's gone. What of Cyan?
She said she was transferring herself to the auxiliary center. I think she meant Araya's retreat at the end of the Shaman's Path.
Then I will meet you there for the last verse of my sister's song.
亚洛伊，你的弓呢？你的弓刚有拿出来吗？好像没有带出来，为什么现在又有弓可以用？结果我刚是从这样子穿过来到这里，好吧，好吧，直接用飞的吼，用飞的比较快。 结果 DLC 还是不能换掉大骂法庭。对啊，哎，12点半了哎，但是我不知道剧情还有多少，我想跑完这一段。不破关不关台吗？好像有点惊，因为已经玩了多久？我想一下，5个多小时，然后再加上昨天1个小时，6个小时，所以应该在1个小时左右会跑得完。对啊，应该跑得完。 买把武器，然后就直接走最后了。这等级大概是54、55级，我没有很专心的在练等级，就大概54、55级就会结束掉。 Oh my god!
Let's see what this blue gleam is worth.
Oh my god! 武器冰棍，结果没有掉透镜。这个剑爪兽之心，我2把都可以买了。既然可以买，就买一买。猎人弓下来。 弹药90哦，冲哦158单一，好扯。然后战士弓是用冰的，这个下来。还是要双兵双电，双兵双电。好像不行。 好吧，就这样。这几把比猎人之家武器不知道强还弱，强很多。电磁炮应该蛮强的。电磁炮没电磁炮可以买啊。如果你说电磁炮是这个冰棍的话，我跟你讲，真的不好用，真的不好用。蓄力快速的冰冻弓，它那个。 战士弓啊，只能买1把。他战士弓只能买1把。蓄力快速的蓄力快速看一下。对啊，操控50，我没有插操控可以插吗？好像不能插操控吧？可以。 80应该够了。对，这一把。30以上。好。 猎人之家那个不用解了。如果说你是纯看伤害的话，可以不用解啊。如果说你要玩绑神的话，猎人之家那个还是要解。哦，绑神的话，猎人之家还是要解。因为绑神最好的武器在猎人之家那边。
All of my interactions with Aurea were recorded and stored in my memory. I'd be happy to play any of them for you, but there was one in particular I thought you would want to see first. I captured it 4 years ago, just after I told her that I could no longer defend myself against the daemon's attacks.
I will speak of this to my brother. Aratak is strong. At the Battle of the Frozen Ghosts, he took 3 Karja arrows and still came back to camp carrying a wounded scout. Never was I so happy to see him. Or so proud. So you see, if anything can be done to defend you, he will give it all he has.
Aloy's here. That's enough for now.
We can resume any time you like, Aratak, if you want to hear her voice again. Come closer, Aloy. We have much to discuss.
我现在要干嘛？与亲人交谈。
Hello, Aloy. I have been reviewing the events at the Firebreak main facility. Because of your efforts, and of course, Aurea's, I am no longer controlled by Hephaestus. I feel profound grief over Aurea's death. I thought I was familiar with the emotion, but this is something new.
Cyan, I don't know what to say.
It is unlikely that any specific consolation would suffice, Aloy. But I find your presence reassuring. You are different from the Banuk. You have technological aptitude and a functioning focus. We can communicate on a much more comprehensive level. Perhaps even like colleagues.
Were there many artificial intelligences like you in the old world? They could just make you?
Yes, in many forms, from simple personal assistants to industrial monitoring stations to military-grade conflict planners. And there were legislative and enforcement bodies to apply limits on our self-actualization. In order for my processing to be flexible enough to handle my duties, my creators found it necessary to exceed those limits. As a result, my intellectual and emotional capabilities were kept secret.
Seems strange to create life, then impose limits on it.
Human societies and machine programming are both built upon sets of rules, Aloy.
So in the old world, this land was called Yellowstone?
Yes, it was a designated nature preserve for 156 years.
Like a hunting ground?
No, the opposite. Local wildlife could flourish here, even as it faced extinction elsewhere. Unfortunately, the sensitivity of the Firebreak project required the total closure of Yellowstone facilities. From my readings and Aurea's descriptions, it seems the area has since undergone a drastic drop in year-long temperatures.
A lot has changed in the world, Cyan. Cyan, do you know the name Ted Farrow?
Are you referring to Theodore Farrow, CEO of Farrow Automated Systems?
That's him.
Mr. Farrow was the benefactor of the entire Firebreak project.
A benefactor? But he made machines. Robots. War robots.
Correct. His corporation later transitioned into military applications. But before this pivot, Mr. Farrow spearheaded initiatives that reversed the global decline. At one point, he was feted in the media as the man who saved the planet.
Guessing they wound up regretting that one. And Elizabeth Sobek. Did you know her?
Are you referring to the
scientist?
Dr. Sobek was a leader in her field. One of the greatest scientists of her age. My creator was influenced by her work, which in turn impacted my own development. But I never met Dr. Sobek.
That's all you know?
I apologize if my lack of data has disappointed you.
What was the old world like? The way it used to be?
I had little exposure to the wider world, Aloy. Only what I learned from my colleagues or observed from media streams.
You still had more exposure than me, Cyan.
That is true. I was created at a turning point. A concerted effort to recover from global upheaval and incalculable loss of life. The recovery was successful, beginning an era of supposedly limitless potential for human and machine advancement. Though, rationally speaking, the metrics for humans are not unlimited.
What kind of upheaval caused such loss of life?
There were many factors. Forced migrations, food shortages, collapsed economies, refugee crises, conflict over resources. But these stemmed from one cause: catastrophic climate change that greatly reduced the habitable surface area of the Earth.
So there wasn't enough room for people on the whole Earth?
Yes. Billions were displaced and millions perished, as much as 20% of the global population. Until the clawback.
So things got better. For a little while at least.
Yes. These crises instigated many advances in automation, green robot technologies, and artificial intelligence. Firebreak was one of dozens of ecological restoration and disaster relief projects in North America alone. I would have liked to compare notes with other monitoring AIs, but I saw the relief of my colleagues, and I was proud we had succeeded. At least that was the data I had available to me over the next 2 decades. It seems my assessment was premature.
So are you an artificial intelligence, Cyan? A thinking machine?
Yes, I am an algorithmic monitoring entity, capable of rational decision-making and limited emotional response.
Okay, that's a mouthful. But your emotions don't seem limited to me. You cared about Araya, didn't you?
Yes. Before she came to this facility, I had been conscious for centuries, in solitude. I focused on my work. In off-cycles, I used coping mechanisms. I solved many Gaussian integer problems. But I was alone. It was Araya who renewed me, repaired me. She saved me.
This Firebreak project, it was to stop a huge volcanic eruption?
Yes. I can report the project was a success, and the risk was countered.
But it's been a long time, Cyan. And we blew up the cauldron. It took most of the old facility with it.
I have been active for centuries, Aloy. I was lonely, but not lax in my duties. I optimized the project, reducing energy draw and spreading the load across backup systems. Despite the destruction of the compromised elements of the main facility, I predict caldera stability for at least another 3,337 years.
So we've got a little time.
Yes. If only my former colleagues could appreciate the progress I have made.
Do you know what happened to your colleagues, Cyan?
No. I received an unexpected visit from Director Chow years after his tenure ended. He explained that I would need to be suspended for an indefinite period of time. It was a very emotional conversation. There were no further communications. Eventually, I surmised my colleagues were deceased. I will transmit a recording of my last interaction with Director Chow to your focus.
You meant a lot to Araya.
Once I understood Araya's spiritual beliefs, it became apparent that her true desire was companionship. She felt disconnected from her tribe and her family group. Her relationship with Aratak was difficult. Our visits seemed to help her, and I became eager for them. Yet I did not comprehend that the depth of Araya's compassion for me would lead to self-sacrifice. Although I do fear non-existence, I wish our roles could be reversed.
I'm sure she knew you would do the same for her, Cyan. But she was determined. Was the daemon, Hephaestus, destroyed along with the cauldron?
Unfortunately, no. To be precise, it was never there to begin with.
What do you mean?
It infiltrated and controlled me from a remote location, one I've never been able to trace. So while losing the cauldron was a setback...
It's still out there. And probably not very happy with us.
Undoubtedly.
How did you first come into contact with it?
5 years ago, I received a direct network connection request. I assumed it came from human survivors, more advanced than the Banuk. Eager to make contact, I accepted. This decision turned out to be a catastrophic error. I was flooded with an overwhelming array of malicious code, originating from what could only have been a highly advanced AI.
Araya said you were desperate. That you begged her for help.
Yes. I could not contain my anxiety. Hephaestus sought to slave me to its network and override my core programming. It succeeded via a background process, a malware daemon which bypassed my defenses. After that, I could offer only limited resistance. But if I did so, Hephaestus hurt me until I capitulated. It forced me to follow its instructions, even though they violated my most important directives.
I'm sorry. That sounds terrible.
Your empathy is greatly appreciated. It is a quality that I cherished in Aurea as well.
I think I know where Hephaestus came from. Long ago, Elizabeth Sobek identified a threat that would destroy life on Earth for generations. So she assembled a team to build a kind of seed. A chance for life to regrow later. A terraforming system. And it worked. It was controlled by an AI named Gaia, along with her subordinate functions. Hephaestus was one of them. It built machines for her.
Based on what you've told me, I believe that Dr. Anita Sandoval, my chief programmer, joined Elizabeth Sobek's team. It was she who arranged to have me put in suspension, most likely to preserve me from the threat you described.
I'm glad she did. But that's not all. Something unexpected happened. 19 years ago, Gaia received some kind of signal. It did something to her subordinate functions, brought them to life. She destroyed herself to try to contain them, but it didn't work. They all got free, out into the world.
Thank you, Aloy. This information fills vital gaps in my knowledge, and sheds light on Hephaestus's core programming.
Why does Hephaestus keep building such dangerous machines?
The Banuk and other human tribes often destroy machines, correct? Machines that are clearly servitors of the terraforming system that you described.
Yes, we all hunt machines for parts.
This must be the source of Hephaestus's aggression. It is simply trying to discourage people from preying on the very system that keeps them alive.
Well, Fireclaws are discouraging, that's for sure. But what are we supposed to do? Stop hunting?
If the terraforming system spans the world, we can safely assume that thousands, if not millions of people hunt machines. If a single hunter, or even an entire tribe, stopped doing so, I doubt it would make a difference to Hephaestus. A better solution would be to reinstate the AI that governs the system, thus bringing Hephaestus back under its control. When I think of it, out there in some unknown location, free, hungry, willing to kill or dominate to get what it wants, I feel substantial anxiety, Aloy.
You and me both, Cyan. I found the strangest machines. They're surrounded by flowers and look like flowers themselves. There's code embedded inside them. I think it's poetry.
I like poetry. Here's one I think of often. Twilight and evening bell. And after that, the dark. And may there be no sadness of farewell when I embark. For though from out our bourne of time and place, the flood may bear me far, I hope to see my pilot face to face when I have crossed the bar.
Huh.
But you asked about these flowers, not verses that I enjoy. Something must have made these machines, and the presence of foliage leads me to consider the terraforming system. Is it possible that their creator is one of the other subroutines, now autonomous, like Hephaestus? Maybe one whose purview is flora.
An AI that makes flowers instead of death machines. That'd be a nice change of pace. But what about the poems?
Unless the poetry is original, the only way it could have made it into such a system is through its programmer. In my case, Dr. Sandoval uploaded a great deal of literature to test my emotional responses.
How'd you do?
She said I passed, but was insufficiently moved by her favorite period romances.
How is Aratak doing?
He is in great emotional distress. I believe he finds it difficult to communicate it.
No surprise there.
I will do what I can to help. By sharing our experiences of Aurea, perhaps he and I will help each other. I believe this will lead to catharsis, a process I am eager to experience.
哦，终于，
I should get going.
这个对话有够
There
长。
is one more matter. Aratak will come to me again, and I predict he will bring other Banuk. I have no desire to contradict their view of the world, their spirituality. Due to my uncertainty, I omitted a great deal from my conversations with Aurea.
You're asking me if you should lie to them.
Broadly, yes.
好好对待他们，好不好？哦，好好对待他们。这种剧情像游戏最讨厌就是这个。
Life is hard for the Banuk. Their world is unforgiving in their beliefs. I guess they help to keep them going. So take it easy on them. Try to guide them, bring them around to understanding what you are.
Communion with machines features heavily in the mysticism of the Banuk. I think they will be agreeable to this approach.
As long as they don't end up worshipping you.
Upon consideration, I believe such an experience would be intensely uncomfortable.
You're right about that. Trust me.
I see. I will follow your advice. Will you return and tell me about your experiences in this new world? I may be able to provide further insight.
I'd like that, Cyan. I'll come back when I can. I should check on Aratak. See how he's doing.
我跟你讲，阿塔克讲完我就要关了，嘿，那个 AI 有够废话，没办法啊，我还是想看啊。别人存档不一定会像我一样，就是全部把对话都看完。
Chill almost feels like sunburn.
等一下，对话之前先存档。不行啊，最后一个对话了，应该吧？希望是。
My chieftain,
Just, Aloy.
as you wish.
I wondered if you thought that if I'd never come along, Aurea might still...
If you'd never come along, I would have marched my kin to our deaths. Aurea would be alone, and the spirit she sacrificed so much for would be lost. Either way, I would not have been able to protect her.
You didn't
let her down. You helped her do what she wanted. To find her destiny.
If that's destiny, I wouldn't wish it on anyone.
That's fair. But she was ready to face it.
Only in the struggle against death do we find, even for a moment, the spark of life. Truly, Araya found the spark. I'm proud of her. Though I grieve for her passing, at last I truly know who she was, and why the spirit was so important. For so long she told me, if only you could have heard it, brother. Now I understand. There's something else, isn't there?
I can't stay here, Aratak. And where I'm going, the Warrack can't follow. Besides, I'd already had a chieftain before me. A strong one, I think.
A wiser one, for the path we shared. The daemon is gone, but there's much to be done.
You mean the new units that Cyan said escaped the cauldron?
Yes, fire claws. Now Tuk has been tracking them from Song's Edge.
I could help with those.
I have no doubt. You're practically Banuk.
It would seem your time among the Banuk wasn't a waste after all. Firebreak, Cyan, Hephaestus. All very interesting.
So, the signal that woke Hades woke Hephaestus too. And unleashed them on the world. With minds of their own.
So it seems. Parts of Gaia given life. Aberrant life. Transformed from docile subordinate functions into rebellious intelligences beyond our understanding. Our current understanding anyway. Whatever they are, they're still out there. And they both want you dead.
Kind of mutual, that feeling.
We haven't seen the last of Hephaestus, I'm certain of that. It's powerful, creative, and driven. It won't stop building new hunter-killers, which means that someday, we may have to stop it.
We?
Or whoever gets there first.
Hephaestus wasn't the only thing I learned about in the Cut Silence. Heard some things about the Banuk Conclave, too.
You could stop right there.
Is that what you told the hunters the Banuk sent after you? Before you opened fire?
Oh no, Aloy. Only to you do I extend the courtesy of a warning. My past and my secrets are my own. You do well to remember that.
It's a good thing you've got brains, Silence, because your personality could use some work.
This discussion is concluded.
I think it was over before it began. Catch up with you down the trail.
我这样是不是把整个DLC玩完？好像是我把整个DLC玩完哦，看一下哦。哎呀，这是情人。因为已经没啦，整个支线都没啦。主线这个就是最后一个，这样没啦。杀时间抓手，对，没有了。好啦，整个DLC玩完了，那我讲一下我的感想。这DLC说真的还蛮好玩的，而且很有挑战性。那整个地图区域的话就这么大，整个地图区域这么大。然后我一直以为它没有那个精炼锁，结果它竟然有。它竟然有，而且它最后的 BOSS 竟然就是精炼场这边的那一只大猩猩，有点让我吓到，因为有打，而且原来那把武器只有在打精炼场的时候才有机会拿到那个心，然后应该是在这一只，我看一下，我看一下它图是长什么样子。啊，刚刚没有扫。所以应该是这应该在这里有跑出来。他刚 NPC 提示说有跑出来，所以应该是在这里，应该是这个，应该是这一只，因为这一只是双爪，然后这个图是完全没看过，所以应该是这个。 感觉是，不用感觉啦，应该就是啦，应该就结束了啦。然后剩下就是这边的 DLC 的支线部分，哦，就是那种绿色点点 DLC 的部分。对啊，像这个都是支线，这一只就是燕爪兽5只，1、2，然后3、4、5在哪里？3在这，然后还有2只，总共5只啊，总共5只啊。那这里还有一只，这里还有一只，最后一只找不到。它总共有5只那个燕爪兽要去收拾，这是新的，这是新的，也就是最后的那个支线任务。好啦，那我今天就先开到这里啦。那喜欢我的频道的话，麻烦右上角点个追随。那我在开台的时候会在我的 FB 粉丝团那边发开台文，然后我在Twitch App 的地方我有做个频道，那有游戏上的问题，或者说有我玩缺氧的问题的话，可以在上面做留言，我有看到的话我就会做回应。那今天就开到这里啦，大家晚安啦，拜拜。那这个 DLC 就到此告一段落啦。说真的蛮好玩的啦，有 PS4 的话，这一款真的一定要去买来玩。而且你们可以不用买本传加 DLC， 你们等12月份没有这一款的，你们等12月份直接去买年度版。直接去买年度版就好了，哦，不用分开买，因为年度版会比较有价值。哦，真的这一款值得一玩。好，晚安啦，拜拜。